Welcome back to Sampstra Top, the place to find top strategy games, and this is a really exciting video because we're going to talk about some upcoming war games. Let's start this off with Headquarters World War II, which is coming soon. It's published by Slitherine, which is why I'm really excited about, because Slitherine has not disappointed me with their games yet. And this is a fast-paced, turn-based strategy game with a focus on battlefield tactics. Now this is set in World War II and it's going to be focusing on the Battle of Normandy. So a couple of exciting things that are in this game is that units will have front side back top armor. So your positioning, there will be an exact angle calculated from your position to the enemy position, and from that it will decide which armor it's hitting. So positioning is super important. Another really cool thing in this game is that buildings can be partially destructible. So for example, if you do some sort of a big blow up thing, you might destroy part of a building, and this is doubly cool because destroyed vehicles and other large objects can provide cover. So you can sort of change the battlefield in a way, which I think, depending on how it's going to be played in the game, could be a really exciting feature because I've not seen that in other games. There will also be different high ground mechanics, allowing you to try to figure out into which position you want to go. And the game looks pretty beautiful, so I'm pretty excited about it. There will also be troop management as you're used to in games, and the game can be played in single player or multiplayer. And another really cool feature is that every unit will have a crew, and if you lose a specific crew member, it will cause you a different penalty. For example, if you lose a gunner, you might have less attacks, or driver, you have reduced mobility. So that, I think, is a really interesting idea when it comes to war games. Next up, let's talk about Heavy Arms Assemble World War II. So this is a game that comes out on February 3rd, 2023, and it's going to come out into early access. This is an RTS. It's set in real time. A really cool feature in this game is these cards that you get every certain amount of time that will allow you to give your units huge benefits or an enemy huge drawbacks. For example, you can increase the speed of a unit, you can increase attack of a unit, you can make unit essentially invulnerable for a certain amount of time, you can make enemy useless, and some of these cards are super strong. For example, you can launch an air attack, so a bunch of airplanes will come. But where this game shines the most is not actually the combat, but the part in between combat. So this game has a huge focus on base building. You're going to be able to build every single building. You're going to be building houses to house your soldiers. You're going to be manufacturing your own weapons. You're going to be doing research. You're going to be having meat houses and different things to just get enough food for your people, because you have to house the mechanics as well. You'll have a variety of different generals that you can assign to different battalions, to which you then have to make the weapons, so that then you can set them up with the training, but they can only train if they have the right weapons, so you have to build that first. And there's a whole regimen of how you can set up the training, who is training when and what kind of training they're doing. And once you set that up, you can set out different decrees which will kind of change the behavior of the people. You also have access to specific generals, so you can see every single general and their different stats. And this is important because some generals are good for leading battalions and others you should just put in charge of manufacturing, for example. It's quite interesting, and I haven't seen many war games that focus so much on the base building part of the war game. It's typically so focused on you already have the units, you're in the combat doing stuff there. So this is a little bit different. It's like a pushback, and instead it's sort of focused on the base and on building things. So not that the combat is also obviously a huge part of the game, but you also have to manage that base, manage your economy and satisfaction of your soldiers, and etc. Next up, we have Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is a large-scale, tactical, real-time war game. It has a unique army building system and deep unit customization. So essentially, you're going to be able to customize your units by, for example, when you have an aircraft, you can choose different weapons, fuel tanks, designation pods. You can give armor to different vehicles, upgrade weaponry, different sensors, and there's also a special forces unit which you can equip different things, like for example suppressors, thermal optics, reconnaissance drones, and etc., explosive charges, and so on. Now the game will obviously have a huge variety of different units. Some points of interest, I think, are for example helicopters. In the game you're going to be able to take control of the American or Russian factions. Now, an interesting feature in this game is that units are actually able to hide inside buildings, which I think is pretty cool and quite unusual. You can actually see them like on top of these skyscrapers, so that's pretty fun. And the game is coming soon, and so we don't know when it's going to come out, and it's published by Slitherine. And it will also have multiplayer. Now, we can all agree that war games are like the valedictorians of strategy games. They are the most complicated of games, I would say. Maybe 4X games are nearby, but I think war games take the cake. And I think we can also agree that most war games aren't particularly pretty. They're mostly gifted in the brain area, not so much in the looks. Well, how about Company of Heroes, which is a sequel, obviously, to Company of Heroes 2. And this is a war game that's actually extremely beautiful. So I have to admit, I have not played the previous installations of Company of Heroes, but I'm really excited for it because I just want to play a war game that's pretty. Apparently there should be some like cinematic action scenes, which I think is going to be really, really cool. Makes you feel a lot more in the action. It's a real-time war game. It should also have all the standard sort of level of strategy that you would expect from a war game. And it's going to have a really huge sandbox-style gameplay. I think it's actually going to be the biggest single-player campaign in the franchise history. So I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to play it. And I actually don't even have to wait that long because it's coming out on the 23rd of February, and it's published by Sega. What would happen if a nuclear war started? That's a question that most of us don't really know the answer to. But you could. Nuclear War Simulator is not a game. It's a title that allows you to study what the effect of nuclear war explosion or a full-on nuclear war. So it's kind of like an in-depth simulation. So the Nuclear War Simulator allows you to design different conflict scenarios and estimate the consequences of what would happen. So there's like a population density map, and you can kind of see like how that would affect things. And you're going to be able to manually assign where you want each warhead to go, or you can use like AI for like faster targeting assistance and etc. And I just think it's a really interesting title. And I the reason why I put this on this is because I thought it's probably of interest to people who play war games. Again, it's not a game, but it's interesting. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know, what war game are you the most excited about?